And then GTA 6.
Yeah, man.
I'm not
At the time
happy.
of recording this podcast, last week, Rockstar confirmed that GTA would be pushed back until May 2026. We didn't have a... Was it the 16th of May? Like, they gave an actual date, didn't
26th.
they? 26th. So we didn't have... We've gone from not having a date, just late 2025, supposedly, to now having an actual specific date.
I'm confident they won't delay it again.
Yeah, so am I. The fact that they've given such a specific date and not just early to mid 2025, the fact that they've gone, you'll be getting it, you'll be able to play it on this specific day, I don't think they push it back any further than that. Personally.
Yeah, I mean, I'm fuming because my fantasy...
You had it in the fantasy.
Yeah, it's completely...
That was going to be your big point.
That's completely destroyed me. Like, I have lost now. Like, there's just no recovery from this.
This was the banker. This was the one that couldn't miss.
I am financially ruined, unfortunately. But I was so confident it was coming out. I'm gutted that it's been pushed back. But like you say, we've got a date now. The chances of it being pushed back again would be next to nothing. I actually do believe there's a higher chance we have it brought forward somehow.
Yeah, I was just thinking that they might have gone, this is literally the last possible day it will be ready. And if we can bring it forward a month closer to, we'd love to do that.
Yeah. So I have to wait and see, I guess.
Absolutely.
I don't want to say I told you so, but every time we've said GTA, I've said I think it might slip into 2026.
It seemed weird for them to commit to late 2025 when we'd already been waiting for 12 years.
And here's the thing: if I hadn't taken it as the second draft pick, one of you two would have taken it, and then if it had come out, I would have been annoyed. 100%. So
if it fell to me, I think out of the four of us at the draft, and I was last. If it had fallen to me, I'd have taken it out.
Yeah, like
you have to take the punt on it. It's a risk reward moment.
But obviously, like your initial reaction was like, oh, that was the same as the whole of the internet. I think everyone was gutted. There was the select few like myself that I don't hate it because I know it is going to make the game better. I'd always rather delayed come out rushed and have flaws. Obviously, it is annoying. We've got to wait another... Well, we didn't actually know when it was going to come out. So, say it came out in December, we've got to wait another 5 months. It is obviously annoying. Gives everyone time to save for new hardware to be able to run it to the best of its ability, which is quite nice.
Well, it just means I'll now be waiting until 2027 to play on PC.
That is tough. Obviously, we still don't know.
Yeah, they've not said anything about PC still.
You've got a mate somewhere up there that's got a PlayStation 5 you can nab for a week.
Right, Con, what do we reckon comes first? GTA 6 on the Switch 2 or PC?
Imagine!
It would surprise me if they launched PC and Switch at the same time or something.
I do not think the Switch 2 will literally catch fire if you try and run GTA 6 on it.
Steam coming out the top.
Yeah.
There's a part of me that's like hopeful that they're just not saying anything, and then it's like literally as the game's like a couple of weeks away, they're like a random Steam page appears and it's just going to be on PC, and they're just like, oh yeah, we never said it wasn't on PC.
Like, you just assumed because of the way we've always done things.
But I think the more realistic thing is it'll be like 6 months after. I don't think they wait a year. I think they're done if they wait a year.
That's too long.
But yeah, I think unfortunately PC will have to wait.
Yeah, obviously following all the backlash that it got, shares in Take-Two dropped 10%, which 10%.
I don't think that's a backlash thing. Do you know what I think the actual reason for that was? Not even necessarily backlash. It pushes it until the next financial year, which means all the money people thought Take-Two Interactive was going to earn in this financial year is now going to be the next financial year. So I reckon that was a bunch of people pulling their money out until later in the year so that hopefully they can get as big a boost as possible.
Yeah.
Would be my boring financial opinion.
We know how much money that organisation is, 10%.
Yeah.
That's heavy.
They felt it.
Yeah, 100%. 100%. Jason Schreier from Bloomberg did report on the day saying that delay was not just to improve the quality of the game, but avoid because we know Rockstar in the past have been accused of.
Well, I mean, all the old AAA devs have done it in the past, haven't they? Let's be honest.
Everyone crunches.
Still do now.
Yeah, everyone crunches. It's a horrible practice. I want it to stop. I don't think it's going to stop. Seeing companies like Rockstar kind of go, we've made you wait 13 years, you can wait a few more months so that we don't have to put our staff through something so unhealthy and bad for them, is kind of the kind of thing that might have the ability to cause a slight shift in the industry, maybe. But it's a start in the right direction of companies going, we're not going to crunch or refuse to do it. Hopefully they don't do what other companies have done in the past where they claim they're delaying to avoid a crunch and then crunch anyway.
This will probably be the case as video games, isn't it? It's just unfortunately an industry where a lot of crunch occurs. But hopefully if Rockstar, such a large name, are coming out and saying it might have an influence on other companies. Probably not, but wishful thinking is probably the best way to go with it. Then following the news, I personally think they've done this to sweeten everyone up a little bit after delaying the game. Was it yesterday at the time of recording? We got
I think it was
new trailer. GTA 6 trailer number 2. It was about 2.5 minutes long. Unbelievable. Saw a bit more information on the two main protagonists, so I can only assume, obviously GTA 5 you played as free. I'm assuming on this one we're going to be splitting between Jason and Lucia. I'm assuming.
Yeah, I think that's
sure.
Real talk.
Everyone's making.
Lucia is beautifully designed.
Those jiggle animations went crazy.
I'm not being funny. As is, I think, tradition when a new GTA comes out, one of the first things to do is go to the strip club to see how certain parts of video gaming have developed. I might feel guilty doing that now.
No.
I have seen some crazy tweets about what people are going to be doing at 12:01 in this playthrough of the game.
But the notion that like picking up prostitutes and going to strip clubs are still going to be in the game, and both the characters are in a committed relationship, is just really funny.
Do you know what's going to actually happen? There's now going to be some OnlyFans rip-off that you can go on the computer or something.
Oh my god, there will as well. No, there will. That is such a GTA thing to do.
Money and stuff like that.
Yeah, probably.
But watching people deep dive all the footage of the trailers to try and work out like what mini games there are going to be, and like people are saying for the first time ever you might be able to like listen to music when you're not in a car now, because there's clips of Lucia wearing like AirPods, and they're going to add like the ability to listen to like playlists and whatever when you're not driving around. That's going to be really cool. Like people get like no other game gets this amount of deep dive over a trailer. And I love it. It's
some of the deep dives I've seen, like there was a clip of, I think it was Lucia or someone's at a pool, and in the foreground there's a like cocktail, and it's like got bubbles going up it. It's like fizzing, and it's like such a tiny, minute detail. Like this game looks crazy. We got some new reveal of some location. I'm saying that right, in the Asia region, just different parts of Miami, I'm assuming. No actual gameplay footage. Again, it is cinematic, so it might look like this game is going to look phenomenal. Like, let's be fair.
They did confirm later it was all in the game engine.
Oh, it was all on PlayStation. Yeah. I'm pretty sure. Yeah.
So like, it's not necessarily what the gameplay will look like, but it is still run on the engine. It's not run separately to make the cutscenes look a particular way or anything. So it won't look, in theory, too dissimilar.
But it's just going to look unbelievable. Even that,
it's going to be ridiculous.
You can watch that on a microwave.
Yeah.
But what do we think this means for other devs? Obviously, we've done countless episodes now where we've discussed game devs developing, giving dates out for games. Now that GTA has been pushed into next year, not just next year as well, 5 months into next year, almost halfway through the year, are we now late this year and early next year just going to see a swarm?
There is going to be a bunch of meetings happening now going, can we be ready by mid-April? If you can't be ready by mid-April, you've got until after June.
I think
then there's going to be like 3 months with GTA 6 in the middle where basically nothing comes out. I'm telling you now.
Yeah, I think for next year, there's going to be essentially the situation we've been having for this year for any games that were planning to come out next year. I think all the games that were the big hitter one, like the big studios like COD and stuff, that were clearly being like waiting to see when GTA was, knowing that if we launch around September, October, November, like we're gonna get screwed because of GTA. They're all going to be going, right, are we still on for our usual release dates? Like, are we okay for this still? They'll probably all, like we said, Summer Games Fest, there's probably going to be just a smattering of all these games that now announce dates over the second half of this year. Any games that are going to come out, like you say, for next year, it'll either be, can we get it out at the beginning of the year, or do we just delay and push it back?
Wait it till later.
Yeah. If you've got a free-to-play live service game and you try and drop that within 30 days of GTA 6, it will be dead and the servers will be shut off by the end of 2026. I'm telling you now. I don't care what it is. I don't care how good it is. If you try and launch a live service game that's free-to-play, like an X-Defiant, and you try and launch it within 30 days of GTA 6 before or after, it will not survive.
There's very few games that I think can drop at around the same time. One being like kind of hardcore MMOs, because they're just a completely different wheelhouse of gamer. And then like you really like some obscure games.
I still think the usual CODs, FIFAs, Maddens, the games that people buy every year, I think you put them in the same month.
Like, I genuinely think if they were to release the same time, obviously that's not going to happen now, but if they were to release the same time as GTA 6, they would still do okay, but that first month would be like a record low first month for all of them games.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
But yeah, the only real games you're going to see coming out are like indie games. That'll be it, because they'll be like, it makes no difference.
Jeff Keighley's phone has been going crazy. We want to extend our trailer by another 3 seconds so that we can add a date to it for Summer Games Fest. I think, like Corey said, I think there's just going to be so many dates. And do you think there's, on the like flip side, there's going to be a lot of devs that were like, oh, can we get our game out, say, May next year? Now they've seen that, they've like, right, we can actually wait a few more months after that, so we've now got more time to spend on our game, which might lead to less crunch, being hopeful.
I think it's gonna. I think overall the amount of crunching is going to stay the same, because you're going to have some teams crunching even harder to try and get out at like mid-April. But then you're going to have a bunch of teams who are like, there is no way we can make mid-April, so you guys have got 2-3 more months.
Yeah, that's tough. But yeah, that's a roundup for GTA 6. Obviously, if we're now going to not be doing our monthly, when's GTA 6 coming out? We know exactly when it's going to come out. And this time,
I'm going to book my annual leave 8 weeks before launch, so they can't. I thought you were going to say
you're going to book it now, and I was
no. My manager's already agreed that when it comes to it, he will get me that week off. He'll make sure I can have it off. So I've already got that like verbal contract. So
I'm sure that'll hold
up. Most depressing part.
There is going to be a global dip in productivity the week that game comes out. It'll be like literally noticeable, and they'll study it in 40 years. Going, there was a random week in 2026 when no work happens. Anyone know why? And you're going to have us old men sat in the corner going, "That was the great GTA 6 blip."
100%. If work thing comes turning up, I'll be putting my.
It was the great 1 week pandemic where the governments thought there was another pandemic happening, but no, people were just pulling sickies for a week.
But the most depressing part, I think, is this time on this day next year.
Oh, don't!
It still won't be out. It'll be the month. It'll be game month. We'll be this month. This episode in a year's time, we'll be saying a couple of weeks till GTA.